So welcome everybody, and thank you very much for being there with us in a new webinar of MTX Product Division. Today, the webinar is to present and to introduce you one new product. In this case, one of our new entry-level routers called EOS. But first of all, what I want to do is to introduce myself. My name is Daniel Cortés Garcia, and I'm one of the product managers in Matrix Electrónica. In my case, I'm in charge of the embedded PCs and networking products portfolio. And today with me, I have my colleague Pablo Perez from the Field Application Engineer Department. Pablo is a person or one of the persons that is providing technical support to for anything related with the MTX products. So here you can find our email contact for any question, any doubt that you may have. You can contact both of us, or during the presentation, if you want, you can write down your question in the chat. We will keep an eye on it, and at the end of the webinar, we will answer any question. Also, at the end of the webinar, we will stay for a few minutes in order to answer your questions or to discuss whatever you need. Okay, checking the agenda for today, the plan is to take not more than 35-40 minutes for this webinar, and the idea is to split it in two parts. The first part, we will have an overview of the MTX router portfolio, and we will present the new entry-level solution, the MTX-Router EOS LTE Wi-Fi. In the second part of the webinar, we will make a live demo. My colleague Pablo is going to make a live demo where he is going to show you the web interface of the device. He's going to configure the SIM card in order to connect the router to internet. And finally, he's going also to configure the MQTT to connect the router with our Cervelo STEM IoT platform. Well, if we take a look to the routers portfolio that we can offer from Matrix, you know that Matrix is a company that is designing and manufacturing different products, from modules to modems to routers and gateways. And today we are going to focus on the router side. So if we talk about router solutions, we can differentiate three different categories, let's say. The first one is the high performance routers, what we call Titan. And here I show you a couple of examples. For example, this one is the new Titan 2. And this one is the Titan with the IP67 enclosure for outdoor application. The Titans are the routers with the highest performance inside our portfolio, with a quite powerful CPU, with a good amount of DRAM and flash memory. Then we have also solutions for vertical markets. For example, in this case, I'm showing you a couple of examples of our vertical solutions for transportation. In this case is the Start Road, which is focusing for vehicle application, and the Start Rail, which is a solution for railway application, certified for railway application. But today, what we are going to focus is in the entry-level routers, which is the part where I'm in charge. And on the top of all our hardware platforms, we have our IoT platforms, the new Cervelo STEM, that allow us to control all our routers and also the devices connected to them and the data generated by these routers. We are offering at the moment for free 1 year with all the most of the routers that we sell. and this includes also the one that we are going to present today. Okay, if we take a look to our offer as entry-level solutions, we can differentiate 3 different versions. The EOS 2, which is the, let's say, the most powerful one, with up to 4 Ethernet ports, with GPS, with Wi-Fi, with a serial port, which can be RS-232 or 485. We have also digital input-output, and we have many different software features. Then we have the light version. There's a noise in the background. If you can all mute, please, your microphones. So as I said, we have also the light version, which is the smaller and lowest cost solution. We have in this case 3G or 4G. We have 1 or 2 Ethernet ports, and we have the Wi-Fi as an option. We have also 1 COM port. And finally, the one that I'm going to present, the one that we are launching this month, is the new MTX-EOS, which is, we can say it's a mix between the features and capabilities of the EOS 2 and the size and the cost of the EOS Lite. So for Matrix, for the MTX division, this should be the best solution if you are looking for an entry-level platform in the future. This doesn't mean that we are going to put in the end of life the EOS 2 or the EOS Lite. Both are going to keep in the market for years. But for new projects, we highly recommend you to go to the EOS. So if we go directly to the hardware features of this new router, you see that we are using an LTE Cat4 module inside. In this case, it's a mini PCI Express LTE module from the company Kectel. We are using the EC25 module inside. By default, we are using the European version of the module, but we are able to exchange the module and use a different version of this module to offer you a solution in a different part of the world with different bands. We have in this router, we have 3 Ethernet ports that can be independent or can work as a switch. This is something that you can configure in the web interface of the device. We also have a Wi-Fi BGN, where we can connect up to 50 clients to the router. We have 1 COM port, which is this terminal block connector, and it's also configurable by software. You can configure if you want it RS-232 or RS-485. Then we have also the dual SIM, so you can work with 2 different operators. Of course, we cannot work with the 2 SIMs cards at the same time because we don't have the 2 LTE modules inside, but 1 SIM card can be the backup of the other one. For the power supply, we have a terminal block. This is something that we have changed also from the previous EOS Lite, where we were using a jack connector. We consider, and this is the feedback from the customers, that they prefer to use this kind of terminal block for a power input because it's more rugged and more industrial. And we can provide to the router from 5 to 35 volts. The power consumption of the router is under 5 watts normally. We have also some status LEDs that allow us to see, for example, the signal level of the router, or if it is powered on or not, and so on. Talking about the temperature range, as you can see, we support industrial temperature range from -35 to 75 degrees. It is a very compact size. It is 115 by 97 by 25 millimeters only. And we provide by default the DIN rail and wall mount kit accessories with the packing list. We will check the packing list later on. As an option, we can also offer on this router the GPS. So the case that any of you need a GPS functionality, please contact with our sales team and we can make a quotation accordingly to your projects. And moving forward to the software features, the first thing that I want to remark here is that the EOS is an entry-level solution with limited CPU, limited DRAM, and limited flash memory. So for this reason, we don't allow to our customers to embed any kind of third-party application inside our routers. So the way that we have to manage the configuration of this new router is, of course, by the web interface, by SSH. We can also use SMS to control some features of the routers. Later on, maybe Pablo can show you what we can do by SMS. And of course, we can also control the router remotely from our IoT platform, the Cervelo, that we are offering for free for 1 year. One thing that we have also implemented in this new product is the MQTT broker and MQTT publisher that allow us to connect the router with our platform or any other platform, IoT platform that support MQTT. Of course, we recommend you to go with our Cervelo, but if you prefer to go with other platforms that also support MQTT, our router can be also a good alternative for you. For the Wi-Fi side, what we have already implemented and working is the access point capability. But in the future, in the new firmware that we plan to launch after the summer, let's say September probably, we are going to implement also bridge and client capabilities. This will allow us to use the router as a bridge from Ethernet to Wi-Fi or serial to Wi-Fi. That is also demanded by many customers. We have also implemented Modbus TCP and Modbus RTU, so we can connect Modbus slaves to the Ethernet ports or even to the serial port, and use the router as a Modbus gateway. Okay. In terms of VPN, what we have implemented for the moment is IPsec, L2PT, PPT, and GRI. And we are working also to implement the OpenVPN that is going to be available together with the functionality of the client and bridge for the Wi-Fi in the firmware that we plan to release after the summer. And of course, we are offering some other software features that we were already offering in the previous product, in the previous EOS, like the dynamic DNS services, the port forwarding rules, the system log. That is very useful to know when we have a problem, to know what is happening with the router. And we also have a capability to have firewall custom rules in order to block the access to internet to a certain IP or to block the access to any specific website or whatever we need to know, we need to do. And this is the packing list. This is the packing that you get when you place an order to us for 1 unit. You get, as you can see, the DIN rail kit, the wall mount brackets, the 2 LTE antennas, and the stub type Wi-Fi antennas. If these antennas that are included are not convenient for your application, Matrix has a quite big portfolio of antennas, and we will for sure find the right one for your application. So don't hesitate to contact us if you need any other kind of antenna. By default, we also include one Ethernet cable for the startup of the unit. And here, what I want to remark is that we are not including in the packing list anymore the power adapter. The reason is that as we have replaced the jack connector by the terminal block connector, most of the customers can use an existing power supply that they have in the cabinet where they are going to install the router in order to power on our router also. So many customers in the past contact us telling us that they really don't need the power adapter. So we have decided not to add this cost to the router, and only in case that you really need the power adapter. So please contact once again our sales team, and we will recommend you the right power adapter depending on your location, for Europe, for UK, for USA, or wherever you are. And finally, from my side, as I mentioned at the beginning, as we are using a mini PCI Express LTE module inside, we have the capability to exchange this module and use a different one with different bands for any country. So by default, the certifications that we offer and we provide are the ones to sell your products in Europe. But in any case, you have a project in other country where you know that there is a certification needed, please let us know, because we are already in contact with a third-party lab that can provide us any kind of certification that you need for the router. So please contact us for worldwide opportunities. And now is the turn to go to the live demo with my colleague Pablo Perez, that is going to continue the presentation from now on.
Okay. Hello, my name is Pablo Perez, as Daniel told you. We are going to see the web interface of this new router, and we are going to do a small startup, how to configure, first step, how to configure the SIM card provider settings, also how to configure the IoT platform part, and we will see how we are publishing some periodic information on the IoT platform, where we can have and we can see some interesting information from the device point of view. I could see in the chat that someone is having issue with our sound. I don't know if Alison, can you hear us properly?
Hi. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Could you be a little bit louder, because I can barely hear you. Sorry.
Okay. I have the mic close to my mouth now, so I will try to speak louder. Let me share my screen so we will be able to see how the new router EOS looks like. And yeah, we are so. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Hopefully yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the status menu inside of the web interface. So this is the default IP address for the first connection. This is the status menu, which we will see in the first step. So what we would like to show you, we would like to make some reset to factory setting and start from the beginning all the procedure. Okay, so we are going to perform an reset to factory settings. The router will remove all information and it will restart by itself. After the first reboot, we will connect to the router again and we will start to configure. Okay. So this procedure usually takes 1 minute, 1 minute something. So it's quick. So it shouldn't take too much time. And I think it's a good idea for you to have a look how easy it is to configure this new router. We will see in the LED area where they start to blink and they start to make the startup. So I can see now the power is up and the network is up. So if I reload the web page, we can see this is the startup web page. So we continue, and they say that okay, this is the password. So this is the configuration, which the status menu, which I told you. Here we can see the name of the router, the serial number, the firmware version, the current time. Then we can see which IP address we get from the one connection from the mobile operator. I have a local SIM card here, which usually it connect by the cell, even if you don't configure any information in the APN area. But you can see we are getting some private IP address. So now when we configure with the proper IPN, we will get a public IP address and we will have the right settings. Also, we can see the LAN configuration. And if we are filtering some IP connection or we have some rules in the firewall area, and also we have the device information like memory available, free space, and this kind of thing. Okay, so if we go to the basic setting in the one area, we have some menus. If we would like to have both 2-1 connection online. For example, if we want to have always the one via Ethernet as backup working, we should have this enabled. As I only have one interface, so we don't need this dual. So here we can configure if what happen if one of the link is down. If the link is down, it will restart by itself after 13 minutes, or we don't want to restart the device if any of the link is down. And this is the one configuration. We have some setting. We can configure the one connection as the mobile operator setting. So for example, this is the part of the username, password, and APN. If we type the right information, we can see here the information in case we type any typo, and also the APN. And this should be enough. We don't need to configure anything else. So with this setting, we can apply the configuration. And once we apply, the values are already configured. But if we reboot the device, we will lose the information. So we must save if we want to keep the the configuration. Okay. So once we have saved it, then in the lane is in the one status, we should be able to see if we are connected to the network. We can see the main, the network coverage, and also now we can see we already got the public IP address. Okay, so now we are connected to the network. We have the IP address. As Daniel told you, we are able to manage the router remotely, so we can access to the web server remotely. We can enable, we can define the port which we want to see. Also, if we would like to connect remotely via SSH or Telnet, we should enable the setting for this protocol as well. Okay. So this means that this is enabled, so we should be able to connect from the public IP address. We are going to see some menus in order you can get an idea how the router can be configured and what are the options from the router. So we can configure some different subnet for the local switching. So using the local Ethernet ports, we can assign the one port to the switch. So this means that if we click here, the assign one port now is used by the switch. If you click mark it as enable, so the one port can be used by the external one interface. Okay. Also, the DHCP server we can have enable or disable in case we want to see. The LAN status we will see if there is any client connected to the LAN or not. In the advanced area, we will able to see some VLANs. We will be able to connect different interfaces in different VLAN. We can assign statically some IP address to 13 MAC address. We can configure some static IP routes in case we would like to split the traffic from some interfaces to different interfaces. We can clone the MAC address in case we need to have the same MAC address. Also, we can have some static DNS, and we are able to configure the BRRP service as well. From the wireless, as Daniel told you, different modes. So we can act as access point, client, bridge, or even repeater. From this interface, we can configure as well the different kind of security modes, different algorithms, the shared key or the renewal interval, and also we can see the status. We can see if is any client connected to our Wi-Fi. We have some VPN protocols, so in case we need to use some of the VPN protocol, we should be able to use it. This is the firewall part. We will be able to configure the firewall and some of the rules, security rule, in case of packet filters or MAC filters, whatever we need to do. The forwarding part, as all these kind of routing, we should be able to add some NATing from the source port, from the public source port to the private network port in case we need to make some NATing. Also different range of port if we need to make some range, or if we would like to have some DMZ area. If we just directly have some DMZ area, we will configure from here. There is some traffic monitoring information where we can see the traffic of the device. This can be helpful as well if we can see from where we are getting the traffic. And we have in the serial area, as Daniel told you, we can different kind of configuration from the serial terminal block. We can add as a client, as a server. We can connect to different server via TCP socket. But also here we are able to use the MQTT part. So if we configure as MQTT client, we should be able to connect to the platform. We are make a small and quick configuration from our platform. So we are going to make a quick connection, and you will see how easy and what we can see directly, periodically from the routers, and some periodic information use it in order to see how is configured, what are we seeing, and these kind of things. Also, we are working now in some management part from the platform. So with a certain syntax, we should be able to manage the device also from the platform. So for this reason, we must configure some topics in order to say to the router, please subscribe to this topic, listen this topic, and if you get some command from this topic, please send the answer and publish the answer to this topic. So this is the configuration, the basic configuration from the MQTT IoT platform. So if we apply the configuration and we save it, we should be able to see the device in the platform, and we should be able to see how the device is sending the information to the platform. Okay, so I have here our Cervelo IoT platform. So we are here in the device manager area. This is our device, MTX-Router EOS. So now we should see here from the device if the device is going to connect or not to the platform. Okay. So let me check. Also, the device has some syslog information. So in the syslogs, we should be able to see if the device is connected or not. Okay. So now we can see if the device is connected, but also if we go back to the MQTT, we should be able to see here in the status as connected. So now here in our platform, we see the MTX-EOS is now connected, and we should be able to see here the periodic information which I told you before. So we have configured, we call it a DNS frame. So this DNS frame is going to send some information periodically to the IoT platform. The information is the payload information from the router is something like this. So we can see the email from the router. We can see the timestamp. We can see the IP address from the WAN interface. We can see which subnet we have configured in the LAN area. Also, we can see the power value which we get from the mobile station. Which technology are we registered? The firmware version we have reserved as one auxiliary field in case we need to fill with some extra information. The model name, the CGI, the cell global information where we are located now, the IMSI number and the ICC ID number from the SIM card. Also the network of the provider. So we are going to send this information periodically every minute or whatever we configure here. We have configured here 60 seconds. So every 60 seconds, we will send this frame in order to get the information. And as I told you, we are improving our firmware and we are working to manage the device via command. So we should be able to modify some value as well from the platform. In this case, I have a public IP address, so I shouldn't have any problem to connect to the router remotely, to the web interface remotely. So but in case we have a private IP address, we should be able to manage the device, even that, from the platform. So we have this option to the port 8088. We can connect also to the device, but in case we have a private IP address, we should be able to modify some values from the platform. We in Cervelo we have different kind of ways of sending command. We can create some templates, and we can configure and send the same information, the same command to different devices. So I have here, for example, one template. This template is in order to modify one of the LAN subnets. For example, I will configure to LAN to this subnet. Okay, so if I execute this command, so we get okay, the command was okay and committed. So the next information we will get from the router, we should be able to update this LAN interface. Also, if we go to the 6 logs, we should be able to see that someone sent the command to the router. The commit was okay, and the public answer was okay. So if we go to the platform in the next periodic committed in the next periodic information, we should be able to see it. Okay, here is it. We get the new DNS frame, and the new DNS frame already had this new information. We have configured like this. So now one of the LAN interfaces is using this subnet. Before was like that, and now is like that. Okay. I think this is all. This is all which I would like to show you. Also, I didn't say anything, but of course you should be able to make a firmware upgrade from here, from the menu. We should be able to save your setting, a backup. Also, we have the possibility to use the DNS configuration. So in case you have a dynamic public IP address, you should be able to configure a host in any of the NoIP or DNS servers. And also, if you would like to make some pings or trace route from here, you should be able to do it as well. This is all from the live demo. This is I just wanted to show you very quick how looks the router and what we are getting from the router with our DNS frame. I hope this is interesting for you. In case you have any doubt, please let me know. In case you have any question, I think this is the moment for question. If you would like to see any of the menus, we can see it now as well. No question? No doubts?
Okay, looks like that there is no any doubt, any question. But anyway, you will get the presentation, you will get our contacts. So you also have the contacts of the sales team. Anything that you need, please let us know. We are here to help you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. Hopefully you will get many advantages from this router.